Never do bankruptcy. This is your host, Jack McKay. Hi. Never do bankruptcy. There's never, ever, never a reason to do bankruptcy. We guarantee to remove any debt, okay, here at Liberty Aid. So never do a bankruptcy. Plus, what happens when you do bankruptcy? Or you can get on jackmckeg.org, right? Uh, what happens here we're on credit.com and it's like, what happens? Three things bankruptcy does to your credit score. Okay, remember, every debt by every bank, every credit union, every commercial lender, everyone, car loans, student loans, mortgages, credit card debt, you name any kind of loan in the United States, it's on your credit report, and it is collected illegally. Every single debt by every bank in the United States, always, for the last 100 years plus, every single one is collected illegally. So, see, they don't ever have the paperwork to prove that a debt is owed, so it's never owed. That's the way it is. It's pretty simple. But let's go back to bankruptcy, right? So what can happen? You get your credit score messed up for like 7 years, basically. Well, wait a minute. Doesn't every debt come off your credit report anyway in 7 years? So who cares? So why do you got to have a bankruptcy? Instead, you could just use our system, and you chip it away at all these negative accounts you may have, or whatever's on your credit report you don't want. Our system will remove it at Liberty Aid, right? Some take longer than others, that's true, but it works. And then you get them off. You get 7 years to go after them. Okay, you can't get debt removed in 7 years with our work. Yes, you can. We guarantee it in 90 days, but I mean, yes, you can. So what would be the reason? I mean, you have to pay money to do bankruptcy. Some lawyer, right? See, it's a trick. Bankruptcy is a trick. What happens during bankruptcy? The lawyer hands you some forms, and he says, okay, what debts are we gonna have? Get go to bankruptcy, and you write them down. This debt, that debt, and so on. Does then the creditor who says, oh, you have a debt, do they ever have to step forward with paperwork proving the debt? No, never. See, it's a trick. Lawyers, all of them, it doesn't matter whether they don't or not. That doesn't matter. Okay? They all work for the bankers. Every lawyer works for the bankers to keep you a slave to the bankers. None of the debts are due, so every dollar you pay to the banker is a debt not due to them. So that is called what? Slavery. The United States is engaged in slavery of every single American, right? All the police, all the military, they only exist for one reason only, no other reason, right? To make you a slave of the bankers. There is no other reason that military, any police, they don't exist for any other reason other than to force you through fear, right? Fear us, we're in charge. They're not in charge, okay? The sheriffs, right? Every foreclosure that has happened in the history of the United States is done illegally. Every house stolen by sheriffs and judges and courthouses illegally. They did it illegally, okay? So you got to use our system to remove any debt, but worst case scenario is bankruptcy. Bankruptcy becomes the worst case scenario. Even if you do nothing and pay off none of these stupid credit cards, you never hear from them, they never hear from you. It goes away in 7 years, period, if you do nothing. So why would you pay for bankruptcy for the same exact outcome, right? Unsecured debt is not secured by anything. So, what are you going to owe credit card debt? No, it's not owed. They don't have the proof, and it's not secured by anything. Therefore, they cannot force you to pay. Never do bankruptcy, not for any reason, not ever, never. It's a trick to get you to pay debts so they can write off debts that are illegally collected. Every debt in the United States has always been collected illegally. And the military, government, and police are only in place to make you a slave to the bankers. They do not exist for a single other reason.